All right, we're good? Okay. My name's PaulNorton. I've grown up in the U.S. I was born out in the Bay, but I lived in Massachusetts almost my entire life. I moved there when I was very young. I came to Berkeley because of
So you're
primarily
an MBA student at University of California, Berkeley,
Uh,
and expected year of graduation is?
2018. Actually, MBA MPH, which is a big part of why I came here. So it's the opportunity to get both an MBA and a master's in public health in 2.5 years in a really well-integrated program. Pretty much no other top university in the country had that.
I see.
So that was a
So
big
is
part
this
of
the
it.
only university that offers MBA MPH?
No, so Tuck and Yale are two other schools that do among top MBA programs. BU was another kind of local option.
When you say BU, that is?
Boston University, yeah. And there might be a couple of others. I think the Dartmouth and Yale were sort of the two others I was thinking about applying to. Berkeley's has been around about 30 years longer than either of those two, and I think just the fact that they'd been around so long, it was integrated, was a big part of what drew me to the Berkeley dual degree program. It was actually, every other school I applied to was just a straight MBA with a healthcare focus, but this was the dual degree program I applied to because of how strongly the two schools were integrated.
So why did you want to do an MPH?
So I have a background in healthcare policy. I worked for an economist at Harvard School of Public Health first, and then I worked at a healthcare tech company. And I think that we're at a point in the industry where the leaders need to both understand how to run the business and how to keep organizations healthy, financially and otherwise, but also how to take care of populations. Providers are now being paid more and more to keep people healthy and out of the hospital. And so if you don't know anything about that, and that's your organization's job to do it, I don't think you're going to be as effective.
So I think this is useful for people to know because a lot of people seem to think that MPH is only for doctors or something.
Oh, no. I mean, I think there are a lot of different focuses you can have with the MPH. So health policy and management will be mine because I'm coming. That's how it'll be combined with the MBA. Berkeley has a really, really strong health policy and management department and some of the best researchers out there.
So what about your GMAT experience?
I got lucky, I would say. I was working in a pretty academic job, and I studied for it somewhat, but I think that my job, because I was reading a ton of papers all the time, prepared me really well. So I ended up sort of scoring pretty well the first time. I didn't have to take it again.
Do you want to tell us your GMAT score?
Yeah, I got a 770.
770?
I
wow.
did.
I see. I had a 760 in my first attempt, and I've met very few people who got better than that. So you're one of them. So that's a very good score indeed.
Thank you.
So you can get into pretty much any university with that kind of score.
I would say that's true. I got rejected from a couple places, and
Really?
I think
In spite of having a 770?
Yeah,
Why
I
is
got
that?
rejected from HBS and Wharton. I got waitlisted at
Harvard
Kellogg.
Business School and
Yes,
Wharton. Why?
Yeah. They don't provide feedback. Berkeley rejects more than I think something like 80% of people that have above a 750.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I think that with every top business school, you need to do well enough to show that you can handle the coursework. And then beyond that, it's much more about sort of what you bring to the class in terms of fit and diversity. Obviously everyone wants to be successful at everything they do, but I was really happy with how things ended up because I'm quite sure for a number of reasons that I'm happier here than I would have been anywhere else, and it made it easier for me to pick the right place.
Well, maybe you were sad that you didn't get into Harvard because that would have been closer to home in Boston.
So Boston had the worst winter in its history before I was applying to business school. So I was pretty okay with leaving Boston. I'd been there for 5 years. I went to undergrad there. I grew up in Massachusetts. For me, it was sort of time to go somewhere else.
So that's good. And while in the MBA program, do you want to focus on studying like entrepreneurship or finance or?
So what I'm really sort of interested in is how, coming from the healthcare space where especially a lot of health provider organizations aren't incredibly innovative, how do you drive change and innovation within an organization that on its own might not change a lot and be super innovative? So Haas has a great focus on innovation and design. That's something I'm really trying to tap into. I want to see what lessons you can take from other industries to bring to healthcare. And I think just taking advantage of all the healthcare expertise here and also diving deeper into some of the parts of the industry I don't know as much about. So kind of a combination.
So what is the class average GMAT score like?
I think it's around 720. I don't know.
I see.
Yeah.
So have you made a lot of friends here? You've been here for about a month?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I thought 250 would feel small because it is smaller than top programs, but it still feels big to me. Like there's still members of my class that I'm meeting now. But I think especially the dual degree gives me sort of a nice group of folks that we have a lot of common interests, and we have another class we're in addition to the standard core. I love the folks in my cohort. They're great. So yeah, it's been a great group, and I'm having fun meeting people.
So where do you plan to do internships, and where do you plan to work after this?
I'm very lucky. Actually,
That's okay.
sorry.